Okay. And I think we are. Right, Lottie?
Live on YouTube. You can start.
Very good, very good. So thank you guys for saving time to listening to me about this subject. Discipline is it is a subject that I like a lot. Many of my friends, they consider me as a disciplined guy, so I think I can give some tips about the subject. I'm going to use a presentation here. The presentation will help you to and help me to keep my thoughts on track. But then if there's any question or any comments, feel free to open the microphones and then we can talk. Even I can pause the presentation. And I hope in 1 hour-ish, we should be full of insights for the upcoming year. So give me just a second so I can share my screen here and the presentation. Very good. So let's start. And for those who don't know me, I have here a nice visitor that I think we've never met by the name. So I'm Nuno. I was born in the 80s. I'm a Droz teacher since 2012. I have a master's in architecture. I'm a musician and songwriter as a main hobby. And when I moved back to Portugal, that was also one of the reasons I missed the stage. So I have a band now again. Previously, I worked in São Paulo, Brazil, and New York. I'm the VP of the Portuguese Federation of the Droz Method, co-founder, CEO, and head of pedagogy of the Rose Meditation digital platform, and I also mentor leaders in another platform. When I was starting this presentation, it always comes to mind a very common reaction when people say, "Oh, no, you're so disciplined." I'm not. That's the most common way of starting the conversation. So sometimes I think that the word has such a weight on that, saying, "Oh, uh, discipline, it's something heavy, and I don't have that, so there's a struggle in there." But sometimes I just like to call discipline as something else, not only the word discipline. And so I created this cloud of words, synonyms, or other ways of saying the same thing, which is discipline. My favorite is rhythm. I just think discipline has a strong connection with rhythm. Keep it in a right pace, doing things in a specific rhythm. It's what I consider a disciplined thing. But that is a good way to light the things of discipline. You don't like the word, change it. It will work better for you, change it. Okay? Determination, rhythm, consistency, perseverance, among many others. Find your word that encourage you to be more disciplined. Okay? I think that's the best way to start if you don't consider yourself as a disciplined person. And another thing, when I start a conversation with friends about the subject, I always bring a few questions to double check if the person is disciplined or not. And the first one is, do you brush your teeth? And the answer is yes. And if you brush your teeth twice a day, 3 times a day, you're disciplined. I know that discipline can be a need like hygiene or something that we are passionate about it. Okay. For example, people that like to read, usually they are disciplined in reading. So they find ways in their day to grab the book and read, for example. Or if it's a need, you find ways to manage your time to brush your teeth a few times a day, right? So let's make this short assessment to see from things that we need to do and things that we are passionate about it, if we can find layers of discipline already there. And if so, and I think that we all have, that's your starting point. You're not starting from zero if you don't consider yourself as a disciplined person. Say, oh, I'm not in a zero, I'm in a 10 out of 11 or whatever. Okay, so make that first initial assessment to see what is your baseline so you can build a more disciplined upcoming year. Okay. And once again, I know that Santi joined. Hello, Santi. So, guys, if you at any time you need to make a comment or whatever, just open the microphones and we can talk. A nice way to approach discipline is to use it as a bridge between your dreams and reality. Okay, so I have a dream, I have a project, I have an intention, I have a goal. From that moment, at least one side of the bridge, and the accomplishment on the other side of the bridge, the discipline is the real bridge that connects both ends. And that way, you have discipline that serves a purpose and not just something boring that we need to do. We think, oh, I need to be more disciplined so I can achieve my goals. That's good. It can also be the element that sustain actions even without motivation. Motivation inspires us to do new things, but then lack of motivation happens on day two, right? We have an idea. Oh, great, I'm going to do this. And then next day you wake up and I'm not sure. I don't feel motivated to do that. And then boom, you quit. But remember that there's a study from the New Year's Eve resolutions. The biggest percentage is people that quit, then, and it's a huge percentage, and then a very small percentage that fail, and another percentage that accomplished. So if you don't quit, the chances of accomplishment are huge. Okay, so use that as your self motivation to keep going every day to build a more disciplined life. Okay, and there's also this other point of view about discipline. It is the pathway between initiative and finishative. I created this word. Okay, initiative is to initiate something, to start something, the trigger, the starting of, and then the finish line, the accomplishment. And because the words accomplishment and initiative are so different, I think finishative is better to realize this starting point and end point. Okay? Discipline is, again, the pathway between both worlds. Okay, so far so good? Very good. So, moving along. Some myths and realities of discipline. We know that motivation is it just vanishes. You go on Instagram, you find a motivational sentence or a movie or something, and it's just a spark. We can get inspired by this motivational stuff, but what gives you consistency on achieving your goals is discipline. Okay, it's going to be the pillars, the foundation, the real structure of what you're going to build in your life. But then you need to add passion to it. Passion fuels discipline. Love what you do. The easiest way to realize this is when you get in love. When you get in love, suddenly you have all the energy in the world to go out for dinner, to plan a trip, to go to the movies with your loved ones. If you're in love, it seems like you find time to stay with the other. And it's a very interesting way of, if we do that when we are in love with someone else, I can do that with my projects. So if you're entering new projects, building new things, do something that you love. Do something that you feel passionate about it. And that will constantly ignite the discipline every day. Okay? Because if not, it will be just uh, you feel bored, you're gonna feel sad, you're gonna find something else more interesting to do, you're gonna find endless excuses not to do, and so on. So be passionate about it. That way, you will continue your self motivation and the discipline will be consistent. And also stay with like minded people. Okay? Just to give you an example, I have my band. It's a metal band. Okay, it's my hobby. So imagine a bunch of people dressing black, probably. Um, Monday and Wednesday night, we go to rehearsal. Uh, how can I say it? There are a few things that I do for my life that are part of my discipline that they just don't connect with them. They are not wrong and I'm not right and not the opposite. I know with that group of people, we can create great songs. We do other stuff related to music. We share a lot. We brainstorm music, which is great. But there are other things related to my discipline that they just don't make sense with them. So when you find your tribe for your discipline, usually works better. Okay? But don't rely only on the others because if they can't, probably you'll find an excuse not to go. That's what happens in the gym. Okay? You and your best friend going to enroll in the gym January 2nd, I'm there. Okay? January 3rd, your friend cannot go. What do? You don't go as well. Okay? So find people that you can connect with the discipline, but also if they can't be there or to follow up with you, have the answer there. Oh, I will go to the gym with my wife. That happens. We go to the gym during the weekdays in the mornings. If I can't, Fernanda will go. If Fernanda cannot go, I will go. Okay, so we have this uh, deal between both of us. Okay, and it works. Okay, we'll do our best, minimum 3 times per week, the best 5 times a week. Okay, we'll go as gym pals, and then we see week by week if we can accomplish that or not, and that way we support each other. Okay, And I think supportiveness is important. When I say this, stay close to like-minded people. So find your pals to build discipline. Okay, very good. So what hold us back? What are the main things that don't make us natural discipline people? Okay, the first thing is it's easy to start. It's very easy to start new projects saying, Renaud, I have an idea. Jaslyn, I have something new. Okay, if I start a sentence like this, everybody gets their attention and say, oh, that's a great project and you should do this and that, and everybody gets excited with the initiative, with new things. That's why social media nowadays is so popular, because they bring us new things every second. Okay, and the distance or the gap between the starting point and the finish point is what holds us back. Okay, so it is common between all of us to lose that excitement from the easy to start and hard to finish. Okay, another element that holds us back is the lack of conditioning. So that means if you're not a natural disciplined person, you need to recondition yourself to be more disciplined. Okay, probably that's why you are in this workshop, to find tips, find ways, find tools to tweak your own discipline. Okay, so if we consider discipline as a habit, oh, so I can change my sleeping routine. Yes, I can change my discipline, daily discipline. Yes, I can change my, let me see, if I smoke and I quit smoking. Yes, and so on. Okay. If we bring discipline into the realm of habits, it is where you should work on. And the other element that usually hold us back is time management. Okay. Time management is a savings account that only takes out money. Okay, you never put money there. So uh, we need to manage how much time do we spend. Okay, so that's why many of us train breathwork and meditation, because it is a tool that help us to improve time management. If we stay more focused, for example, we'll do more in less time. That means you improve your time management. Okay, but still I'm going to bring other elements, other tools that will help us all to improve discipline. Okay, so what to do? I'm going to bring 3 different strategies to develop or improve discipline: reconditioning your mind, master time management, and say no to distractions. Does this resonate with daily problems with you guys? A thumbs up if that's true. Yes. Very good, very good. So to recondition your mind, let's see what we can train to improve that. I think we should celebrate more. Okay, don't celebrate only when you do the big accomplishment. Celebrate all the small wins. Okay, everything there's a mark in your progress, celebrate. Okay, we know that there are culture around the world, different cultures, different countries, different traditions, that they push us more to the celebrations or to the negative side. Oh, you still have a lot to go. Okay, or hey, you just started and you have your first accomplishments. Great, let's have a coffee and celebrate. For example, okay, I know people from different parts of the world that they would react differently to the same situation. Okay, so your surroundings, your culture, your community is really important here on reconditioning your mind. Okay, so the first thing is, if I have a big goal and I need to be consistent to achieve this goal, make the smaller goals and celebrate them all. Okay, don't think only about the gap between this small accomplishment and the big accomplishment. Celebrate all of them. Okay, and the good thing when you celebrate, your brain loves celebrations, right? They love a party. They love the all the chemistry behind celebrations. We have um, uh, the things that happen inside your heart starts to pump faster. You feel excitement. Excitement brings endorphins, and all of that bunch of stuff that happens inside. We could list them, but the most important thing, it gives us joy. Okay, so if it brings you joy, invest on that. So the confetti moments during your discipline journey are essential for your brain to realize, oh, from now on, you're being more disciplined and we are celebrating more. That's great. Okay, the brain will love this. Okay, and the opposite will push you down. Okay, because in this mind behavior conditioning, like for example, you have this habit and then you lose your discipline and you get frustrated and then you lose your self-esteem or your self-esteem goes low. It's very common. Okay, the gym is the most common here. I'm going to the gym to lose some pounds, to lose some weight. Okay, I'm going the first 2 days, then the third is I'm sore and I'm not feeling good, and then you stop going to the gym for 3 days, 4 days, and then you get frustrated, and you see on your bank account that they are still charging you. And so, yeah, that's why I'm fat. That's why I'm still have a lot of pounds, and your self-esteem goes down. That's a really, really common thing that happens in the gym. Okay, so to build discipline, we need to recondition. Okay, say, okay, baby steps, celebration steps, confetti time. Okay, I went to the gym for the first week and I just went once. Yay! Okay, it was the minimum that I how can I say it? I said to myself, I will start the gym routine minimum once a week, maximum 3 times a week. Okay? If I went once, twice, or thrice, I will celebrate in all of them. I will not celebrate if I don't go. Okay? But it's the minimum. I don't care. It was my floor, it was my minimum to start this new routine. Okay? So I'm reconditioning myself that for years it was 0 times in the gym. Now I enrolled and my minimum is once a week. I did it once a week, celebrate. Will you see evolution? Of course, because with happiness, with joyfulness, you will fuel your discipline. Okay? And so this is an important way of setting up your goals if you want to improve your discipline. Okay? Just don't put your high standards really high and make it impossible from 0 to 7 days a week. It's hard, okay? It's you can do that, but I don't encourage you to do that. Okay? Continue with the same example of the gym. If you don't go to the gym and then you start, set up for yourself a minimum and an ideal. Okay? Minimum and maximum. And then Start from there, okay? And celebrate, even the minimum. Celebrate, okay? And for the time management, there's this very well-known Stephen Covey time management matrix that organizes our lives in 4 blocks or quadrants, um, being the top 2 important, the bottom 2 not important, the left urgent, the right not urgent. And we figure out that we do everything, okay? We have tasks in our day that are urgent and important, not urgent and important, urgent, not important, not urgent, not important, okay? But when we combine these 2 elements, the important and the urgent, we realize that, for example, if you put everything on Q1, important and urgent, you are just working in a hospital in the emergency room. Okay, that's your life. Okay, you don't have time to plan. You don't have time to for social life. You have no time for anything because you're always solving urgent and important problems. Okay, crises, deadlines, all those things that need to be addressed immediately, they are in Q1. Okay, and sometimes that happens. Okay, the deadline is getting closer, and then you need to speed up things. Your things will be in Q1. Okay, I'm going to leave Q2 because it's the most important one to the end. So Q3, urgent, not important. Interruptions, unnecessary meetings, and other people's tasks. This should be minimized. Okay, if it's not important, try to delegate. Try to put someone else to do that. Okay. Now with AI, I know it's a sensitive subject, but sometimes you can put technology. Let's see in a bigger realm. See if technology can do that for you. Okay. If it's not important but it's urgent, sometimes technology can do faster than you can. Okay. For example, a spreadsheet is a way to, instead of having your white paper and do all the calculations by hand, you put that on the cells and it will calculate everything. It is a way of delegating the problem, which is urgent but not important, to technology, and the result is fast. Okay. The Q4, neither urgent or important, that means distraction, social media, and purposeless activities. And there are a few studies that they tracked what are the biggest distractions in companies, and you won't believe. Okay, being the first one, games, playing games, mostly on the cell phone. Okay, the second one, even in the workplace, I'm talking about the workplace, pornography. And then, yes, social media, and so it goes. Okay. A lot of people, they spend their time, working time, on the Q4 on this not related tasks to your work, okay, to your main job. Uh, so this is something that we should fight against, okay? Of course, there's this coffee break for social interactions that I do agree that they are important. They are the Q4, but you can use that to reinforce relationship with others, to know better your team, for example. So the few coffee breaks that for those who are very how can I say, they look to productivity as something really strict. They say, hey, no coffee breaks, no confusions, no talking, just do your stuff. I'm not like that. I'm a very human person. So do your coffee break, know your colleagues, know your superiors, know your team, know your pals in work. That is really important for the Q2. Okay. Imagine that you are able to work in advance every time you sit to work, which is just doing important things, but not urgent. Hey, imagine asking, Renaud, what are you doing today? Yes, I'm working on a case for February. Whoa, already? Yes, I like to work in advance. That's amazing. Like imagining the how much proactivity is in one person if you can work in advance, prepare, plan things with a big distance and with time. So I know that we cannot do with all the tasks. There are a few things that are a little bit in a rush, of course, like traveling. Okay. I can do my luggage, I can do my visa, I can prepare the passport, but then the day of traveling is Q1. Okay. You go on time to the airport, but it can get delayed, and then you are there, and then there's something changed, the gate changes, and then you need to go to the other gate. So you are in the Q1 moment, traveling day. Okay, that's okay. As I said in the beginning, we will be on 4 of them. But your target, if you want to improve your discipline, target for the Q2. Okay, working on important stuff only, not urgent. The best. Okay, it's the best of a disciplined person. And a tool that help you to do that every day is the big rocks first. Okay, as you can see in this picture, uh, it looks like the rocks cannot get into the container, but I can guarantee you, if I put the same elements, the big rocks, the small rocks, and the sand, in the opposite order, they will all fit in, and you're going to have free space there. Okay. So if you have important things to do, Q1 or Q2 from the previous slide, do it early in the morning. Okay, do it as your first things. And imagine the sensation that every day, probably during the morning, if you work during the mornings and afternoons, like you go to lunch break and you said, I have my big rocks done. Okay, now the small rocks and the sand is for the afternoon. That's great. You feel that you did it because you start with the big rocks. Okay. For example, let's see. I'm going to use 2 different examples in 2 different habits. Okay. Food related. Oh, I'm going to eat more greens. Okay. What do you think you will succeed the most? If you eat greens as your first plate, as your couvert, as your starter, or as a dessert? If you start eating your
Starter.
greens, yeah, because then if you leave the greens for later, you say, "Oh, I'm already full," and then you don't eat it. Okay, you always find excuses. So big rocks first. If that's important for you, if you want to be more disciplined in terms of food, of your diet, of your nutrition, as an example, uh, getting more greens in your plate, the first thing that you're going to put on the table is a plate of greens, and then you eat whatever else you eat. Okay, and that for your brain gives you priority. Okay, you are doing what you've meant to do. Okay, you said you want to eat more greens, done, and that's great. Big rocks first. Okay, there's also studies like people that go to the gym in the mornings are more consistent than the evenings because you say, yes, when I leave work and then I have dinner and then I find a way to go to the gym. You're going to fail quickly. And even during the weekdays, it's very common to see the gym packed in the Mondays, and then Tuesdays, and then Wednesdays get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then Friday it's an empty place. Okay, except for those who put their big rocks first, and for them, going to the gym is a big rock, so they do it early in the morning. Which means it doesn't work at the end. Yes, it works. For example, I have Renaud here as a good example. Okay, he commutes to work a few days a week. Okay, but he's able to come back on time, and he attends my class online at 7 p.m. for me, which is 8 p.m. for Renaud. Okay, and he's one of my most consistent students for years in a row. Okay, so it works, but he knows he needs to leave work at specific time so he can move back to his house to join my class. Okay, because it's a priority. Okay, because he knows that's what brings Renaud what he wants, the consistency of the practice, for example. Okay, so it works if you are committed to that. Okay, which brings us to the next slide, which is to learn how to say no. Which, giving the same example, probably Renaud could stay a little bit longer working for 1 hour more, but to himself he answers no. No, I need time for myself. It's quality time, the practice that I do with Nuno. So no, I won't work later. I will stay here. There are exceptions, of course. There are moments that you have more work and then you make up your classes or whatever. But that's an exception. Okay, so your no at that time, so you can move, you can travel back to your house and do my class, is a great example of focus and boundaries. Okay, and that way you work by objectives. It's not by the hour. Okay, oh, but I arrived late. No, if you did things, if you finish things, you can leave. Okay, more and more companies are working this way, not by paying salaries per hour, but per objectives, and working per objectives or by objectives and not hours, which is a great revolution in the work environment. Okay, I work with people that are really competent, really high productive people, but probably people think they're lazy. They just work 4 hours a day. Yes, but when they work, they accomplish, they do so many things that I can trust that if I ask something, it will be done. But it's 4 hours, no problem. Okay. So say no to distractions and have clear vision of your objectives and not just working hours. It's really important. Okay. So with these different tools, we reshape our brain. Okay. So that means our brain will stay hooked to positive sides of discipline. Okay. Not the heavy discipline, but celebration, working by passion, work in advanced, Like I'm working for a project that only starts in February. Ha, great. Okay. Being proactive and not reactive, and learn how to say no, learn how to say yes, manage your time properly is just a way to nourish your brain that discipline is great. Okay, it's going to give you so many good things, so much joy, so much pleasure that it won't be hard to be a disciplined person. Okay, but there's a consistency there. That's why I like to use other words, not only discipline, consistency, rhythm of your actions. It is important so your brain starts to get used to, oh, this is great. Okay. Eating more greens is good. Okay. Going to the gym is good. Reading more books is good. It's not a waste of time because that's sometimes what our brain tries to convince you of this new routine or new habit, saying, Jaslyn, this new thing isn't aren't you losing time? Aren't you wasting time with this new thing? Okay. But if you're passionate, if you have the answers ready, say no. You answer to yourself, no, I want to read more. I want to read more books. It is a goal for 2025. So it is not a waste of time. I'm investing time here. Okay. So you answer back your own question this way, and your brain starts to reshape into the discipline, okay, which is really important. Okay, so far so good. Good. So, things that you should do daily. Celebrate your small wins. Okay, this is also a training of appreciation that is being more popular nowadays. At the end of your day, list your wins. List the things that you've done. Okay. I say, oh, so many good things. I call my best friend. I send this really important email because of that project that will start next year. I finish this report and so on. List, and you're going to be amazed with the wins that you have every day. Get used to that. Okay, it should be a daily habit for you. And set clear boundaries for interruptions. Sometimes you are online available for others, sometimes you're not. Okay, for example, when I'm giving a class, I'm in a not disturb. Okay, no notifications, nothing there, because I need to be focused on you guys. I need to be 100% or 108% on you guys when teaching a class or teaching a workshop. And then I have my times for being available. I work online with other teachers. So yes, I use WhatsApp, I use email, I use text message, I use Facebook, I use all of those tools to be available to answer to my students, to future students, to friends, to colleagues, because I need to work that way as well. But when I'm in a workshop, it's a do not disturb sign on the door, okay? Even my dogs and cats are outside of this room, so they don't disturb me, okay? And also define the value of your time, okay? This is a really hard one for me because I'm a fast learner and I'm a handyman. So it means I can do a lot of stuff, okay? I can do I can learn things and do things, and it's very easy for me to get lost by learning new things and start working on new things. But I need to set up the value of my time, okay? So this way I need to stop and to see, maybe I can delegate this task. Maybe I can find technology that can do that for me. Maybe I can buy that thing instead of doing or building that thing, and so on. Okay, so defining the value of your time is really important to double check. Are you doing just for your own pleasure because you can do that? Because sometimes it's not worth it. The time that you spend learning and doing the new thing, and it's not aligned with your big goal. Okay, so define the value of your time is really important, and plan your big rocks. For example, my wife and I, we use text message for the big rocks of the next day. Okay, there's no hey, how are you? No, we just go straight to the list. Okay, tomorrow we need to do this, this, and that. Okay, we work together and we are a couple. So things related to the house or things related to the business, it's there. Okay, and so uh, we have the big rocks for the next day every day. Okay, we always check each one agenda, saying, "How's your day tomorrow?" "Oh, it's fully packed. Don't worry. I have a free window here. I take care of the house related stuff." Okay, and then we work together on this time. Yes, yes, and we just set up the plan for the next day. It is having a consistent big rocks first with a pal. Okay, in this case is my wife. Okay, but it is important to have that. Okay, uh, it is a good way to work your big rocks. Okay, and now it's so natural. Okay, you just go back, you will edit the message, and then you add something, you change something, or delayed, or you just work on that. But we are always working on this subject. Okay, so mostly to finalize, there's a big chance that you enrolled and you are here because in 2024 you start something but you didn't finish. And sometimes even we blame ourselves, saying, "Oh, damn it, I wanted to do that and I wanted to read 10 books and I just read two." Okay, what stopped you? Okay, what can you do different this time? Okay, and with the tools that I've mentioned during this workshop, what are the ones that you can apply immediately? For example, to read more books. Okay, I have a suggestion for reading. Put it on your agenda. Okay, my agenda has my classes, my meetings, and my tasks per subject. Okay, like I have an important meeting on Mondays, and the 2 hours after the meeting, it is a window that is closed for other stuff, so I can work on the things that were decided during the meeting. I don't want to lose the momentum, and I don't want to lose my memory. Okay, so what I do, I'm during the meeting, I can set up my notes, and then I finish the meeting, and boom, I start working on those things. Sometimes it's just planning, sometimes it's just sending emails and contacting and working on stuff, but it's there on my agenda, like post meeting tasks. It's there. Okay, but Nuno, if you don't have the meeting, I have my Monday afternoon free, okay, if I want to. But you can see it there, it's visual. I'm a very visual guy, so putting on your agenda is important, okay? So let's see, Jaslyn, during 2024, from this initiative but no finitiative, what stopped you and what can you do better next year? You can open your microphone and talk with me.
Well, I have a couple of really big takeaways, and now I see what have been my stumbling blocks in this developing a habit of discipline. I have a list, and I tend to do the little things first, the little mechanical things first, before I get to the big rocks. And what I find, this is how I've been working, is I do all those little things, and then when I get to, and I look down and I think, oh God, those are really big. No, but I've done all of these little things, and I never get to the big rocks because I then put the big rocks on the next day. So I don't get to those big rocks because I'm keep on doing all the little rocks and feeling, oh, I've done those, but I've not actually done any of the big rocks, which will lead me to my greater goal. But I've done lots and lots of little rocks, so I feel really, really good. So that's one takeaway. I'm going to flip the script and making sure that I do the big rocks first. And for example, there are only 2 big rocks on today's list. And I've not actually, in my time, it's 3:30, and I haven't actually got to the big rocks yet. But I've done lots and lots of little rocks in between, and I've had a meeting. And so that's one thing. Then my second thing, which I think will be a game changer, is what you've just mentioned. After the meeting, I should do the tasks. Like what I normally do, I have the meeting, and then I know, and I think about it in my head, and the next day I come to it and think, oh, I must do them. Oh, yeah, no, I said I would phone that person. Yeah, I must. So for 2025, and in fact, the next meeting I have, because I've already had a meeting today, and I'm kind of like, yeah, haven't actually really done anything from the meeting. But to build this habit of discipline, I'm going to do differently, have the meeting, and then do a couple of tasks from that meeting immediately rather than leaving it. So 2 great takeaways for me, which I think will be game changers in terms of my discipline going forward.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And I have another tip for the tasks. If it takes less than a minute, do it immediately. Okay, because sometimes we put uh, we just put so many things in our to-do list of
Yeah.
small things, and in the moment that someone asks me, "Oh, can you send me the contact of Tammy," for example, right away, I don't put it on my to-do list, send Jaslyn the contact of Tammy. No way. Okay. I do that immediately.
Okay.
Okay. If it's really fast,
Mhm.
boom. Okay. And so you notice that probably the small things that you do, they are important, but sometimes they are they are not there occupying your taking place on
Exactly.
your list.
Yeah.
Just do it fast,
Right
okay?
away.
Or, okay, I'm gonna finish my call. I'm gonna call the Uber. But when I wait for the Uber to arrive, I'll send you the contact. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
send you that PDF that I have it here.
I
Things like
know. I
that.
have somebody's been asking me for an Excel, a budget Excel, which I have in my computer somewhere, and it's been on my list for 3 days. I should have I should have sent that 3 days ago. I know it's just an Excel. And yeah, you're so right.
Yeah,
Instead I put it on my list and I don't get to it, and it just gets, yeah, no, that's a
yeah,
game changer too for discipline.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That moving the task for the next day just builds frustration.
I know.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
know.
And we want to turn the game around, right? So to celebrate, saying, no, no, no tasks move to the next day.
Oh,
Okay.
that would be great if
Yeah.
I could do that.
Okay. just a great example here.
Well,
Okay.
today I'm going to do my big rocks. As soon as I finish this meeting, this seminar,
Mhm.
I'm going to go straight to the big rocks. There are only two of them to be done. I just need to do them,
Mhm.
just kind of stop it and just do them. Yeah,
That's great. That's great.
thank you.
Very good. So thank you for your contribution, Jaslyn. So the takeaways of today, reconditioning your mind, as we were talking right now, master time management is important. And here I want to highlight not only the big rocks, but the defined the value of your time. It's really, really important for you. And say no to distraction. So I know that from you guys that are here, you have a passion with meditation, with our practice. So that means you know the value of being focused. So use that. Okay. For you, it should be a little bit easier to say no to distractions. Okay. When I'm with my band, I have sometimes to say, guys, I cannot be in so much distraction in just one room, guys. I need more focus. I cannot live like this. Okay. And they laugh and we all laugh and we joke around and that's okay. But I get crazy with those guys, uh, with the amount of distraction. And for me, focus is important. Okay. So we're going to have fun. We're going to have our challenges with others too. So it's part of the game, right? It's not a one player game. It's a multiple player game. So let's have some fun. Okay. So it is important for yourself, as Jaslyn mentioned, but each one of you to write down what is that small step that you can take today to strengthen your discipline. Okay. What is that one thing that I can do? This is doable. This is something that I can do. Don't blame yourself if you haven't do in the past. Time moves forward, doesn't move back. So what can you do today to strengthen your discipline? Okay. And start. Okay. And remember, it is not about perfection. It's about progress. Okay. It's about moving forward. It's about getting things done and enjoy the process. Extract joyfulness from all these things. All right. It's a wrap. Thank you. Woo-hoo. Let me stop sharing and then we can talk a little bit more.
Thanks, Nuno. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you, Santi. Thank you for joining. Renaud, how was it?
It was great. Yeah.
Good.
But for the big works, that's true that sometimes when I have lots of little tasks, I think, okay, I do all the little tasks because after I will feel like lighter, like
Yes.
there are less things to do now. All
Mhm.
the little things are done, but yeah, that's like the because after when I have all the little things, it seems to be a mountain, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, do things early in the morning. That's not what
Yeah.
I do.
Think about if you need to go to the dentist, you have a pain in your mouth, in your teeth, you don't gonna ask him, say, hey, can you schedule an urgent appointment? Yes. When? In a couple of days in the afternoon when you're free. You don't say it that way. You
No.
say it early in the morning, right now, because it's important and it's urgent, right? So how about playing around and see if it works for you? Do at least one big rock in the morning as first thing, okay? And see, oh, the big rock got me more excited to do the small things than all the small things all together to do the big thing. Okay. And the other problem is if you work mornings and afternoons, it's the lunch break, right? You do small things and then, oh, I need to start the big thing. Ah, it's almost lunch break. I'm not gonna start something that is this big. Maybe after lunch I come back and then we have like a big meal and then, oh, come on, this digestion is killing me. I'm gonna have a tea and a coffee. You see, like our mind trying to push forward to start a big and important thing, a big rock, okay? This can happen, but there are exceptions, okay? I have friends that they are not productive at all in the morning. They say, Nuno, I'm a mess during the morning. I cannot think properly. It's confusing and I'm slow. And it's not about coffee or whatever. I'm just slow. Okay. And I work with people that way. So they work in the afternoon. It's not because the afternoon you're delaying things. They do their own stuff. They wake up a little bit later. They do their stuff. Then they have their lunch and they say, oh, now afternoon. Now I'm feeling more energized to do things. And they start doing the big rocks in the afternoon. But it's when they start their working hours. Okay. It's not the morning that you need to do your big rocks. It's when you are starting to work and you grab the big rocks first. Okay. And other people's they work better at night. Okay, they say no, this social interaction for me it's tricky, but I need to because my work is to be with people, so I have the nights to work by myself. So my big rocks are during the night. Okay, I need to be in the meetings, I need to do everything, and then I need to work by myself at night. Okay, it works too. Okay, it's not the hours of the day, it's more about the putting
The
things first.
objectives, yeah, for sure. I think that's another game changer too, is because you can I can sit at my desk for about 2 or 3 hours and actually accomplish very little. So yeah, I think that's another thing to look at. It's about completing the objectives, and as you say, if you manage to complete the objective in an hour, then you've got that other 2 hours to scroll or to have a cup of tea or whatever you want to do with that extra time.
Yes, yes. Very good. So guys, it was great to prepare this workshop and to be here with you guys, people that I like a lot. So for me, it's very good and easy for me to talk with you, to interact with you. But probably a few people will watch this later. You guys will be able to watch this later too. If you want to recall a few things that I said or slides that I shown and you like to double check, you'll be able to do that as well. And my commitment to do this more often with you guys, okay? To be here to find this
that'd be great. Check in
subjects.
this next year, see whether or not
Yes.
it was just a New Year's resolution or whether or not we're still doing it. That would be
very good.
That would be really good. Renaud, good luck with your new job.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Yeah, I hope that goes really well for you. You've got some tools now to use.
I will be closer, so no more train problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just the subway, just the subway.
Perfect.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a huge upgrade.
Yeah, that's good.
For sure. And say hello to your wife for me.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Very
Bye,
good.
thanks.
Bye-bye. Bye,
Thank
Santi.
Bye, thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.